What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. I almost forgot to do this, but we got some top 5 threats. Road to UFC 287. This is the second to last one. This is the top 5 threats to Mr. Jamal Hill at the light heavyweight division. So yeah, man, we're almost done with these. You guys know I love doing this every year, talking about every division. I don't know what else I'm gonna do a little series on, but it's a good video to make when there's like slow fight weeks like this. But yeah, especially for UFC. but and you know, I do want to apologize. I did say I was gonna cover some more PFL stuff, and I wasn't able to cover this this Marlon Rice Brendan Loughnane fight. But I promise, Shane Burgos and Olivia OAM basically I will do a breakdown on that. So that's coming out, so don't worry, y'all. If I know I made a PFL promise, I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, Jamal Hill. Let's talk about Jamal Hill. He's the champion of the light heavyweight division. The new champion, beat Glover Teixeira. I don't know. You know, I like Jamal Hill, man. He really gained my respect after that Glover fight. Retiring Glover, having that kind of scrap with Glover Teixeira. He gained a lot of respect from a lot of fans, and he gained my respect. I think he's a good champion. I don't think he'll last long. I do think he'll beat his number one contender, his number one rival, in my humble opinion. You know, one thing I don't like what people say about this division is they say it's as bad as middleweight. I disagree. I think light heavyweights, their top 5 is lit. I think the matchups are lit. I didn't think the Magomed Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz fight was a bad fight. I really disagree. I think it was a good, solid fight. Their top 5 is lit, and their basically number one contender versus champion fight is lit. Like, I'll talk about that later in the video, but that fucking fight right there, if you know who the number one contender to the light heavyweight division versus Jamal Hill, that is a phenomenal fight. But yeah, Jamal Hill, he's gained a lot of respect. I don't see him being a long-term champion. I don't see a lot of these guys being long-term champions, besides maybe one in this top 5 threats video. But these guys, they just match up really well, and they're very, very close and competitive. And I like the top 5 for the light heavyweight division. I really do. So I just want to say, put some respect on this light heavyweight division. It's not as bad as 185. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's get to it, man. At number 5, I went with Nikita Krylov. Fuego. Shout out to my dog Fuego. That's his boy right here. I mean, he possesses some threats for Jamal Hill, I think. And he's on a pretty good run, but I've seen Nikita Krylov. I know what he has. He just seems like one of those guys that will be really good but never make it to the title. You know what I'm saying? He'll always be kind of like second best or whatever. He's had competitive fights with like high-level guys like Ankalaev and Glover Teixeira, but you know, he's been submitted by Jan Blachowicz before, and you know, he lost to Paul Craig. Like, he has these weird suspect moments where he loses to these guys he shouldn't be losing to. But man, when the guy is on, he's on. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's probably one of the better well-rounded fighters in the whole division. And he can mix it up. He can strike. And he can wrestle at a high level, at a good pace. And he's on a really good run. And he's on the best run of his probably whole career right now, beating Volkan Ozdemir, former title challenger, Ryan Spahn, and then, yeah, Alexander Gustafsson, another former title challenger. So he's beating a lot of good guys back to back to back. He's building a good resume. So I had to include him here. It felt like if I didn't include him, Fuego would have killed me. You know, he would have torched me in the comments. So I had to include his boy Nikita Krylov at 5. At 4, I went with my boy Rakic. You guys know, you see, this is a non-biased list, all right? If I had it my way, I'd put Rakic at number 1. But you guys know I love Rakic. But right now, you know, he's coming off a loss. He's on injury leave. So until he comes back, he's obviously a problem in that division. I think Rakic is probably the best technical fighter everywhere in the whole division. I think he has some of the best wrestling, some of the best technical striking in the whole division. Great distance management. He's super athletic. He's super athletic and super technical, and that's what I love about Rakic. He's such a problem, and I think everywhere the fight goes with a guy like Jamal Hill, he would eviscerate him. The leg kicks, the wrestling, the distance management, the point fighting, anything, wherever the fight goes, I just think he would hurt Jamal Hill. I think he would beat Jamal Hill. I think he'd 50-45 Jamal Hill bad. and it'd be a phenomenal scrap, and I'd love to see it. But obviously, he's coming off an injury too, so you have to put that in consideration. We don't know if he's going to be the same guy like he used to be, the guy that beat Thiago Santos and Anthony Smith back to back. So we'll see. And then at number 3, I went with Jan Blachowicz, journeyman Jan. I think Jan, obviously the leg kicks would be a problem for Jamal Hill, but I also do think if Jamal Hill touches that chin, man, he could probably smoke. He could probably smoke a Jan. You know, I truly believe that. So, but I think Jan on the technical level is a better striker than Hill. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, fucking Jan Blachowicz showed a lot of technical striking against Rakic, you know, and he figured him out. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit. Obviously, I do think just Rakic made one mistake. I honestly feel like if they run it back, I think Rakic beats him 10 out of 10 times. I'm sorry. I just feel like, you know, I think Jan exposed a hole in his game that Volkan Ozdemir was able to expose, but I don't think he's the better fighter at all. I really don't. I think he just exploited a weakness. But yeah, I give him his credit. He got the W there. So yeah. Yeah, but I think Jan is a bad stylistic matchup. You see, like, Jan still has something left in the tank. You saw like he gave Magomed Ankalaev a hard time, and I think he'd give fucking Jamal Hill a hell of a hard time. So yeah. At number 2, I went with the man himself, Magomed Ankalaev. I think Ankalaev is such a prom for Jamal Hill. I really truly believe that, and I think the power would probably be the difference maker for Hill. And I think that's the biggest thing in going into all these matchups is Hill's power. He has such legit knockout power. But when I look at Hill's technical ability, I don't even think his striking's that good. He has decent hands, decent boxing, but I wouldn't even say he has the best boxing. He's just super long, and he can get away with stuff because of his length. But it's his power, y'all. He's been given like God-given power, and he's big and athletic. Like, he's big and athletic for his size. But a guy like Magomed Ankalaev is, again, more technical than him everywhere. And Ankalaev has probably been the most consistent guy in this whole top 5 that I'm about to mention. He consistently wins. He knows how to win. And I thought he won the Jan Blachowicz fight, but it was close, though, so I'm not mad at that. I wasn't mad at that decision. But he knows how to win fights, and he's the most consistent guy. If you really, really look at it, like, Rakic had a stumble against Volkan and Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz had a stumble against Glover Teixeira or in Thiago Santos back in the day. Nikita Krylov had a stumble against Jan Blachowicz and Glover. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I bring these kind of guys up, they always had their issues. The only wrinkle in Magomed Ankalaev's career is Paul Craig, and that was like 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just truly believe this guy's the most consistent guy, and I turned my page on him. I kind of thought he was an undercover bomb. I still feel like he's a little undercover in certain areas. Obviously, the leg kicks got exposed, and that was something I told you guys that was going to happen if he wasn't smart with Jan Blachowicz. But yeah, it is what it is. I got him at number 2 as a number 2 threat. I think he's going to be champion one day. I truly believe either he's going to fight for the belt again or he's going to be champion. And those are 2 things that's for sure going to happen. But yeah. And at number 1, I went with the ultimate rival. I went with the lit matchup. I went with the fight that's going to have everyone buzzing. The new marquee fight for light heavyweight. Jiří Procházka versus Jamal Hill. Jiří Procházka is my number 1 threat to Jamal Hill. And the reason why I say that is because he's going to be fighting Jamal Hill next. Now, do I think Jamal Hill smokes him? Yeah. I think Jamal Hill smokes him more than everyone on this list. But it's going to be a phenomenal fight. Jiří's tough. He's strong. And he's sturdy as a motherfucker. And he knows how to survive. And I love that. And this fight is just such a great fight. Jamal Hill versus Jiří. It just feels like a great fight. And I remember when these guys, you know, Jamal Hill was calling him out back in the day when Jamal was like number 12 and Jiří was in the top 5. And now we find ourselves in a weird situation where Jamal Hill's the champion and Jiří is the guy that's the number 1 contender. And it's such a new generation fight. And that's what I love about this fight. And I love about Jiří being the number 1 contender to him is that this is the new generation of light heavyweight. It never was Glover versus Jan Blachowicz. It never was that. This now is the new generation of 205. And I love this fight. Like, I can't describe to you how much I love this fight. It's a great fight. But yeah, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. That he is my #1 threat to Jamal Hill. Full card predictions for UFC 287 will be coming out pretty soon, either Saturday or Sunday. I'll put that out. And then obviously the breakdowns for the whole fight week will be coming out. And I want to do a fight talk with Ed. I'm calling Ed out for a fight talk during fight week. I don't know what day we're going to do it, but we're going to do it for sure. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love y'all. Goodbye. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like, comment, share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye.